sit around their kitchen table trying to solve their financial problems, but they never seem to get solved because they always wind up costing more money. But it doesn't have to be that way if you learn how to use the system. There are thousands of government programs that will help you with your financial problems for free. Don't pay for someone to help you with your debt or mortgage problems when you can get it for free. Don't pay for someone to help you with your business or invention if you can get that for free. Don't pay for career counseling or resume writing. Don't pay for healthcare or prescription drugs. And don't pay for going back to school if you can get that for free too. You know all about the people out there who are charging you thousands of dollars to help you with your financial problems because they're spending millions on advertising. What you don't know about is the free services from the government because they don't spend a nickel on advertising. But I can show you how to find them. So why not use the free stuff first? Isn't it dumb to pay for something that you can get for free?
I don't know. We on the air? Is that on the air? We are on the air. Well, how do you like that little 1-minute spot? You know, that was a commercial I ran a little bit while ago. And it did very well for me, actually. It's like anything in life, man. You got to do 100 things before you get something that really work. I mean, I've written over 100 books in my life, but only about 10 have done anything. That's one. I mean, 1 out of 10. So I'm only right like 10% of the time. I used to think that, when I get better at something, I'm going to get really good at it, and have a success all the time, and life doesn't work that way. I really feel that the life we live in now is really just failure. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I studied the heck out of this thing for 35 years, and I'm still only right 10% of the time. So anything you're going to do, like new or whatever, you're going to have a lot of failure. I mean, look at all the stuff that doesn't work anymore in this country, and that's, you might as well plan for failure. I mean, that's what I do anymore in my life, and this is what this show is about. Thank you for tuning in again. If you were here last week, if you weren't here last week, I hope God willing and everything, we'll be here next week again. And it's important, I think. It's fun. I love showing off. I mean, you get 2 people in a room and I'll give you 20 minutes. So it's a nice place for me to I just share this stuff. I really believe in it. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I've made a good living actually, I made a great living at getting stuff for free and selling it for as much as I could get. Now, isn't that a great country you could do that? Well, that's what information is. I mean, everybody, whether it's broadcasting or magazines, everybody's out stealing information, and publishing it. Like my first book that made the New York Times bestseller list. I didn't write a lick. I didn't write any of it. I plagiarized the whole thing from the federal government. Right? See, nothing in the government is copyrighted. So I was down at the government printing office, not far from here where we are here, and this is about 30 years ago or something, back in the 80s. And I was, I'd go, everything was in paper then. I was going through titles at the government printing office. Oh, this is neat. This is neat. And I found this book there called The Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. Isn't that a snooze title? Nobody's going to read that. If that was on their bookshelf, Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. But I started looking at this thing, and the more I looked inside of it, hey, man, this had all the programs where they're giving out money. And so what I did with that was I said, hey, gosh, there must be a book here somewhere. And I found an agent. And he found a deal for me with Penguin Viking in New York City. And I took that book. I really just cut and pasted it. I cut and paste the whole thing. See, what's neat about the government, nothing is copyrighted in the government because it's us. The government is us. We all own it. So anything that is available in the government, you could take and sell for as much as you can get out of it. and that's what I was doing. So I took that book and really cut and pasted it and sent it to these, Penguin Viking in New York City, big, hotshot publishing. We worked on a title, changed the name. We didn't call it Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. We called it Getting Yours. The Complete Guide to Government Money. Became a New York Times bestseller, and I didn't write a lick, And man, for a kid who flunked English in college, man, that was the biggest thrill of my life. And actually, the most important thing I did after that was call that English teacher of mine from college who flunked me in college English. Man, that was a sweet call. I said, "Do you have a New York Times bestseller?" I do. I mean, but it shows me actually what America is all about. And that's when I get excited about this stuff. And I've been doing this stuff for 35 years. And I started by helping fat cats down in Washington, D.C. I had an office on 16th and K. I had an MBA, and I was helping Fortune 500 clients, and I charge them tens and $20,000 to get this stuff for free, and I'd sell it to them, take off the government's name, put my name on it, thank the government, and make $1 gazillion. And what shocked me, though, was that it really shocked me that I could get this information. I mean, a schmuck like me from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, who barely got through college, could go around, call up a government office, and get this stuff. But what really shocked me more were these fat cats who would take what I got for free and use this information to make millions of dollars. And literally billions or whatever, and it was all free. It was for the asking. What I see it's like it's oil in the ground, man. We're sitting on, we don't have to do fracking to get this out. You just have to go online and make a phone call, and you become rich as hell. And that's what's neat about it, And what's neat too to me is that it's all public information. I mean, this is us. Do you realize like 30-40% of everything in our country is government? Now, bad or good or bad, I mean, that's a moot point to me. I don't care. It's there. I'm not going to fight. I mean, I have my opinions, of course, but that's not the issue. The issue to me is you have a problem. You want to do something. There's help out there for you to do that thing you want to do or to solve that problem. But you don't know about it. Actually, you do know about some of it, but what you know about in solving your problem are the hucksters like me who advertise. So, you know about everybody advertising to help you with their problem because they know they can get money from it. You have a problem, you have money in your pocket, you'll throw money at that problem. Well, see, if you want to do something in life or you want to solve your problems, you can't be throwing money at everything, because nothing works right. Nothing works the first time. Like I've written 100 books, but only 10 have been have any success at all. So you spend a lot of money doing something, you're wrong 10 times, and you're out of money before you got the problem solved or before you do the thing you really want to do. So to me, the key in life is how do you do this stuff without spending money? That way you could fail a lot of times, you could do all this stuff, and you're not spending money, right? So you keep doing it until you figure it out. And there takes no magic to figure it out. I mean, that's why I used to look at all the stupid people running stuff in this country, right? So it doesn't take a mental genius to do anything. I think what it takes is just the concentration and the effort and the perseverance, to do it. And to get through that stage, you can't be spending a lot of money. And to me, I think it's wasteful because even if you have the money, you could be using it for something else. And that's why pay? And the end of that commercial you saw earlier, where I say, why pay when you could get it for free? But that's what we do because we don't know about the free ones. All we know is the stuff that are charging you money because they have money to advertise. Yeah. So they'll spend a lot of money on television, radio, on the web. Even on the web. I mean, people have to advertise on the web to get on those first 4 pages or whatever it is that you're going to search for something. Oh, it's free on the web. But you'll never find the stuff I'm talking about on the web because it's going to be on page 36 because on the first 35 pages, people spending a lot of money to get their product on the first 35 pages. And what's going to happen is you have a problem. You're going to be, looking at those first 35 pages and, you're getting tired and I'll just pick one. And because they promise you to solve your problem, you're going to give them money. And it probably is not going to work, but you're going to run out of money real quick until you find out what really does work. Because I think everything works differently for all of us. And that's the key in life. How do we stay in the game long enough till we figure out what works for us? We're always trying to see these people who will go out and charge you a lot of money to attend some seminar or whatever. Hey, I'm going to tell you the secrets. Yeah. You can make all that. I got to see it. Give me some money. I'll show you the secrets. Yeah. That's nonsense. I mean, it probably worked for them or whatever. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And what you have to do, the only way to learn is really by doing. It's like learning how to swim, how to play golf, how to do anything in life. I mean, there's only so much you can learn by, studying or coaching. And you got to get your butt out there and do it, And that's the only way to really learn, because you'll see what works for you, not work for this other person. I mean, you're not that other person. We're all different. We're going to talk to artists in a little while, and that's what I see life as like. We're all artists. Everybody's an art. I used to envy artists so much, and I don't know if they're listening to this in our fancy green room back there, but I used to envy artists so life because, man, they knew what they really want to do in life. If you were a dancer, a singer, or whatever, you were born with that, or a painter. I didn't have any of those skills. I didn't know that, But I envy them because they knew what they want to do, and they loved doing it. And then what I see, as I realized I didn't have any of those skills, that we all are artists at something. I mean, we're all made, we're all organic, we're all unique in some way. And I think the trick in life is trying to find out what's unique about you, because that's your best thing you got to give. So whatever is weird about you, that's your best stuff. But see, in school and everywhere else, no one's encouraging you to be weird, are they? No, because you don't fit in. You're a pain in the butt, if you're different, So they try to make you like everybody else. And then the same way out in the community, when you get out of school, oh, this is the way he did it, so you got to copying everything else. And what you're doing is leaving your best stuff on the table. And your best stuff, because you're weird or what's different about you, is what we really need, because we don't have that. Like me in school, man, I went to prep school, flunked out of prep school. I went to public high school, was thrown out of there a bunch of time because I thought my middle name was Sit Down. It was sit down, Lesko, sit down, Lesko. And I wasn't good at any of that stuff, particularly sitting still. You see me wiggling around on this chair. I was wondering, how am I going to do this just sitting on the chair all day? Found out a way. There's rollers on the chair. But now, if someone in high school said, hey, Lesko, you got the personality or whatever, we couldn't package what you do well, be a pain in the ass. And that's why, after I failed at everything else, I finally did that, and now I make millions of dollars acting like a fool and being a pain in the ass, right? But I didn't know that was a talent, see, and that's what's unique to me. I mean, how many people you see walking around in a question mark suit? I'm good at that. How many see people screaming on TV? I'm good at that. But in the classroom, man, they don't want any part of that. And actually, even my parents, well, it's interesting. My parents didn't even admit I was their son my first 10 years on television. Because they wanted me to act like Henry Kissinger or somebody, just very erudite and smart and things like that. Not until, they were in some retirement community at the time, and not until the other people would come up and talk to, hey, is that your boy on Larry King? He sounds smart, And that's why sometimes your loved ones are your worst enemy. So you want to do something in life, particularly poor artists, they have this burning desire. They know they got to bring it out, and your loved ones are like, well, what kind of retirement plan is that? How are you going to pay for rent? I mean, all the people who do real neat shit in life, when you see their movies about them, they never ask about the retirement plan, right? And things like that. The people who do things, that's not an issue. You have to have trust in yourself that you're figuring out. You always get another shitty job you hate, The thing is to grow yourself as much as you possibly can before you die. And that's, I think, the game is. Because if you grow yourself as much as you possibly can, you're going to give more to the rest of us. So if you're trying to be somebody else, and you're going to quit at 5 or something and go home, and man, you know, like when I find what I want to do, I mean, I haven't worked in 30 years, man. You think this has worked for me? Man, it's like a bear rabbit being in the briar patch. I can't wait to come down here. You know? And to me, that's a life to try to seek. And that's why I feel so spoiled now doing this. And what this show is about is trying to get other people to find that. Because if you're happier in life, then I don't have to run in you in some store that you hate working there or whatever, because you're holding that job for somebody who really wants that job. But this guy with the PhD is there because he doesn't know what the hell to do with his life, you know? So you got to get out there and start doing what you should be doing in life to grow that inside, you know, as much as you can. It's sort of like we're all plants. We got to find the right pot to grow in. If we're in the wrong pot, you ain't going to grow. And that's what the key of life is, try to grow as much as possible. Well, we're going to bring our guests from behind the curtains in a minute. Okay, and these people are, one is the director of the Arts Council in Washington, D.C., the Commission on the Arts. So they're going to, and the other is an artist. We're going to talk about government programs and the like. But watch, you could get a free report. By the way, I'm going to show you a little clip here. Oh, no, that's not the one, is it? No. No. Where is it? Yeah, okay. No, it's the second one. It should be the second one on the list there. No, it's a video.
Thanks for tuning into Lesko Free Radio. I hope you enjoy this show, because I enjoy doing it. And if you want to learn how to start using these programs, listen, I set up a free webpage called UncleLesko.com. You can go there right now and download the 5 best grants just for your state. So that's UncleLesko.com. Go there now, get the 5 best grants for your state, and start taking advantage of the stuff now. You know why? Because it's free. Oh, hi! Our guest. Well, there's one on screen. Where's the other one? We have 2. There he is. There he is. Well, why don't you introduce yourself, ladies first, and you are?
All right. I'm Christina Blahnik, and I'm a local artist. I also have a studio and gallery space that's just a few doors down from here called Pleasant Plains Workshop.
Pleasant Plains Workshop? Mm-hmm. And that's a studio and an incubator?
It's definitely an incubator. Okay. There's about 4 artists that operate their art business out of it, and then we also have a gallery and store component.
Wonderful. And you are, sir?
I am Lionel Thomas, the Executive Director of the D.C. Commission on the Arts and Humanities, the official arts agency of the District of Columbia government, and we're part of the Mayor Gray One City government. So we provide grants to artists and arts organizations. Money!
Here's
That's
the money
correct.
Guy.
You get a grant.
Right. Here's the money. Actually, we forgot, Eric. There's a lead-in. Let me show you this guy I spoke with, who's an artist. Got money as an artist. Oh, there he is. How does a piano player get government money?
Well, I got government money to pay for CDs, $5,000, and an additional $25,000 to play in schools and in concerts.
That neat. Well, he's in Ohio. So, I mean, that's programming. So most states have something like this, right, Lionel?
Yeah, we are like other states. All states have a state arts agency. We are the one-stop shop for the District of Columbia. Most states have city, county, and local funding.
I see.
D.C. is unique in that sense.
It only has one.
No, it's only one. And we're happy to serve the residents of the district.
Does that mean you have a lot more money?
No, that does not mean that. We could afford to have a lot more money.
Right.
But this year we were very fortunate to receive a $6.8 million increase.
Wow, no kidding.
Which 80% of that goes back out to the arts community.
Wow. So you got $6 million extra bucks in this time of cutbacks and all this kind of stuff. That you read the headlines. That's what, I mean, the average person around the country reads, oh, the government's broke and it's out. It's not there anymore or something. And here you're giving out more money. Huh?
That's right. We give 80% of our budget back out to artists and arts organizations.
But it increased.
An increase was, we were fortunate. Arts is a big business here in the city. It's a $1.1 billion industry according to the latest numbers.
Oh, I see. So the arts business in the District of Columbia generates
$1 billion?
Over $1 billion to the local
Like
economy.
this artist is
That's right.
Is contributing to the community here.
As well as the vibrancy of the
see.
city as well.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if you know a book a few years ago called by Richard Florida. Do you know Richard
I
Florida?
know what you're
That's
talking
right.
about.
Yeah.
The creative economy.
Right.
Economy.
Creative class.
The creative class. That's right.
And now he was saying, like, your city's not going to grow unless there are artists there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And his book is really definitive about that.
Yeah.
A city that's tolerant
And gays.
and open and open and
You
open.
gotta have gays and artists, or you ain't gonna go anywhere.
That's right. That's right. It's got to be the turnkey strategy.
Right, right. And that's a great thing, when you think of it. And I guess his theory, the way I understand it, is because people who create jobs are creative, right?
That's right.
They create jobs. And creative people want to be in communities that are open-minded, as you were saying, and have a lot of arts and music and things like that. Otherwise, they're going to go to New York or somewhere else. Well, your boyfriend came here from New York.
Well, one thing, Matthew, some of the top companies have looked at that, and they're looking at people who are creative more so than those who have PhDs in certain areas. They're looking for creative people to solve some of the
see.
problems. And so artists are just that.
It's true, the whole interdisciplinary.
Well, that's another thing. There's another book. I'm showing off here. Where's my English teacher now when you need her? A Whole New Mind. You know this from. The guy has one out about salesmen. It's really good. But he had a whole new mind out about how Daniel Pink is his name. Whole New Mind's really about being right brain.
That's right.
That this is where our country is going, to be right brain, like an artist, instead of like your boyfriend, the engineer out there.
Okay, Matthew, be nice. Be nice.
I guess maybe it's not even a boyfriend. I don't know. But it seems that, particularly with China, I mean, like a gazillion engineers coming out, spitting them out like popcorn. And it seems like we may be more valuable in the world with right brain stuff. Like we pass through that and use all this right brain stuff. And he says, like, the new MBA is the MFA, Master in Fine Arts.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you feel that?
Well, actually, just in what I've been doing the past few years, I felt like an MBA would be a handy tool for any artist to have, and probably vice versa. But to have in a lot of art programs, they don't teach you any business skills, but any artist coming out of art school is instantly being thrown into this whole self-employed position. I mean, besides teaching jobs you can get, you're really just creating a business of selling yourself and your artwork.
Oh, it's funny. I was looking at programs in New York City. They have a free mini MBA for fashion designers. So, they're taking up on your idea, I guess.
Yeah.
That was surprising. But, I mean, I really feel, the older I get, the more I see how important the right brain is. I mean, I'm an engineer and finance guy and stuff like that, but the real stuff is the heart. And the real decisions, I think, are made that way. I mean, the important ones. I mean, like you're going to pick out mate for life depending on a chart or no, the real important stuff. I remember hiring people after I screwed up for the first 3 businesses. I got all the credentials, but man, if I didn't like them and I didn't trust my heart about that, no matter how credentialized they were, if they were idiots, that this heart is very important.
Well, one of the most important things, I believe, is how we connect to one another. And the arts transcends all disciplines and all ethnicity.
Right.
And arts is how we connect. It is what we will be remembered by. When you look at the great civilizations of the past, they're remembered by their culture. And more so than their politicians and their of course the great wars
We don't need that.
but we look at the culture, the civilization itself and the culture, that it's really what we look to as the driving force of how they remembered. And so in this city, I think the arts cannot be more important than anything else. I mean, it is more important than anything else. Artists are an important part of the community in solving a lot of the problems and connecting with people.
Yeah. And actually in DC in particular, the art scene is kind of hidden because DC is notorious for so many other things.
Right.
So actually a project that I just wanted to give a shout out for because I've been working on it for about a year is this group called DC Cheer, and we're
DC Chair?
DC Cheer, and we're a cheerleading
Cheer.
squad.
Oh, like cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Cheering
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
arts
wonderful.
in DC, and it's just to shed light on it. I mean, I think a lot of residents who have been here for a long time get to know the art scene here, but people who are just visiting or just here for a 2-year contract don't really scratch the surface and take advantage of all the great culture we have here.
Oh,
So
it's great. I mean, with this winner take all society kind of thing, we all go through the $1 billion stuff when we have this little free stuff right here that is terrific.
Lots of galleries and
Yeah.
museums and theatrical productions and artists that are showcasing their work all throughout the city.
So tell me, what are the basic programs you got for people?
Well, the basic programs, we have community-based programs that support projects that happen out in the neighborhoods. We have arts education.
What is that like?
Those are grants that we provide for arts organizations and individuals to continue to
I
work
see.
with residents of the District of Columbia.
So if I want to put a play in the park or something like that.
That's
yeah,
right.
kind of
That would
okay,
be one
right,
of the
right.
examples. And if you wanted to do a concert or a festival, that would be a program that you would apply to. One of the most important priorities for the Arts Commission is arts education or lifelong learning for young people, and those
Young
grants
being what age?
from pre-K through 12th grade.
Oh, really?
We have programs that go into the schools,
Oh,
both
like the guy
in school and out of
probably
school.
doing that. Maybe
That's
the
right.
Piano player coming in.
Exactly, in school and out of school.
I see.
And he probably received a grant
Right.
to do a residency in a school and to teach young people the importance of the
So
arts.
then, if you have a talent or something, then you could apply to be one of these people.
That's right.
doing
That's
these
right.
things, yeah.
To be eligible, you have to be a DC resident, or you have to have your principal place of business here in the District of
I see.
Columbia. And really, there are guidelines. We have 10 different programs, but basically, it's about sustaining the Arts Commission. I mean, the arts community here in Washington D.C. And providing that free money that you talked
exactly.
about.
So the communities and education, and what are some of the others?
We have that reach out to underserved communities, at-risk communities.
you said?
Underserved
Oh, okay.
communities. We have a new program that we just developed that is going international. That's connecting us to sister cities.
Oh,
I
The
saw
Sister
on your website
Cities.
something about Sister Cities. So
Sister
what's that
Cities
like?
Cultural Exchange Program, where we're providing funding for artists to go abroad to.
So if I'm a photographer, maybe you send me to Korea or something like that.
Right. That's a great way
terrific.
to exchange,
Yeah.
and vice versa. We'll
Right.
also fund folks to come here through the Sister Cities International Program.
Wow, that's
And
cool.
then there's the Arts and Healing Program.
Healing?
Arts and Healing,
Ooh,
yes.
what
It's
is
about the healing arts
Yeah.
and the transformative power of the arts and how it can really help us heal cancer patients. We're looking at people returning from returning citizens who have been locked up and incarcerated to help them transcend into the transcend back into the
Is
community.
it artists that apply for the money, or the
Arts organizations and artists
right. To
and
do what's an
community-based
example would it be,
organizations.
like for ex-incarcerated people? I mean,
it
Well,
could be-
if he comes out and he's a resident of the District of Columbia, he can apply for an individual grant
oh, I see. Wow.
to help develop his artwork. Or if it's a social service organization working with this population, they could apply for a grant as well.
I see.
As long as they're not government. We don't fund
Right.
other government agencies.
So either a nonprofit or individuals.
That's
so if you say healing, so if I was a recovering cancer patient,
Well, I think that there are programs such as the one that's at the Children's Hospital Medical Center, and they have a special program that helps develop and
see.
supports cancer patients. And the various hospitals have those kinds of programs that,
now,
that
but
will help
back
with
on
that.
your list of programs, are they just for, hey, I just need money for a project, individual, or to keep painting for a couple months?
Well, the individual fellowship grant,
Yeah. What
we
is that?
provide a fellowship, and
Oh,
you
I
can
see.
practically do whatever you want with it.
I
It's
see.
really just a demonstration of your track record of being a fantastic artist. So
I see.
you get a gold star from us, and you get some funding.
Yeah, you get money. Did you get one of these?
Not yet. I hope to apply. But I have.
That's why they're both here.
Been looking into the individual grants, and there are some that are for specific projects. So you kind of outline what your budget would be, and
That's
and
right.
could get funded for, like a musician could get funded for a CD being
Oh,
cut
really?
here
I
at
see.
Listen Vision, or an artist could get funded to do a show, a solo show they have coming up at a gallery.
We've also funded this actual station.
This, is that how Jeremy found you?
That's right. Well, we funded this
payback
station,
time.
right? We provided the grant in order to
Great.
get this off the ground
Wow,
and get
that's
it.
terrific.
And when we look at social media and the new technology, we're funding those kinds of things where people can do online stuff.
Well, I mean, so he's a business. He's a for-profit business.
That's
So
actually a nonprofit.
Oh, nonprofit,
We only
okay.
fund the nonprofit. You have to have a 501c3 status.
501(c)(3) or individual.
Or individual,
Right.
right.
So individual. So tell us more about your time. You should see her resume. It's really cool stuff she's doing as an artist. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So do you have a website?
I do. It's pleasantplainsworkshop.com.
Pleasant
Plains.
Plains, Plains.
Yes, that's
.com.
actually the name of the neighborhood here. So
Oh, okay,
when I
Pleasant
first
Plains,
found the
yeah.
spot and decided to rent it, I was
Uh-huh.
toying around with different names, and then I knew I wanted to engage with the community, so I thought, what better name to pick than one that incorporates the name of the neighborhood, because a lot of people don't realize that this is a neighborhood right here. Georgia Avenue is kind of like a cut through or a corridor that people are getting from point A to point B, but right here in this about
I
like
see.
9-block radius is Pleasant Plains, and there's actually a really vibrant community here. So just since opening my doors 2 years ago, besides catering to some like-minded arts people that I already knew, there's the whole neighborhood vibe at my shop that I was a pleasant surprise, and we have a bunch of regulars from the neighborhood, and I connected with some other arts groups that are in the neighborhood, like the Emergence Art Collective, which is around the corner from me, and all the other local businesses.
So it's a gallery. So
Yeah.
it's for local artists to show.
We mostly show local artists. On the walls, we show a rotating lineup of solo shows for emerging artists. A lot of artists, actually all across the board, some artists that maybe just graduated from school, but also some older artists, but are from the community. And then we have in the store lots of little things made by local artists. So there's, kind of higher price point on the wall, but then there's little
I see
$5
that. Yeah, I
handmade
see.
things. And
So you're really an art store. I mean, not a gallery.
yeah, I mean, it's almost could be like a gift shop /
Right,
gallery,
right.
but everything's
Oh, that's
handmade and
cool.
local. So I feel like it's a fun way to kind of contribute to the local economy, because we at all times have over 20 artists selling stuff out of our shop.
Wow,
And
no kidding.
we just
And how about your stuff? What kind of stuff do you do?
I do kind of project-based work, some screen printing. Actually, I could have
Oh, really?
done this for you.
Wow.
For really cheaper, you don't know. But I do screen printing, and I do sculpture, performance, and installation.
Performance? What kind of performance?
Well, the DC cheerleading
Oh,
squad is a
cheerleading.
performance project. That is, so it's rooted in performance art, and it's really wacky. And but yeah, and I have different levels too, because I also make T-shirts and stuff. And so when I make T-shirts for other people or for myself and sell them in the shop, that kind of funds the bigger projects that might be more
I see.
expensive.
So you're hustling.
Yeah. Every day.
She's hustling a lot. But the money we talked about is, for the artwork. And I feel, I have a video clip I want to, so what I'm trying to do is get artists to know about other programs to fund their daily life that they could take advantage of. Like here's about a lot of artists I would think are in financial trouble, right? So this is a group, government subsidized. You get free help with it. No, not that one. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well let's run that.
The
Oh, there
key
it
for
is.
everyone that's in a loan they don't understand is to get information. How to understand that loan and get advice. Then there's free counseling across the country. The federal government supports counselors in every community.
Is that the HUD counseling?
HUD counseling, there's a list, again, at the HUD
Right.
website, hud.gov. Counseling by
Yes.
state, by community. You can find HUD-recognized counselors, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and the strong recommendation is to contact a counselor in
You
your
are a
area.
HUD counseling.
The MANA
Okay.
organization is listed as a HUD
Counseling.
counseling organization. Washington, D.C. has, I believe, 10 organizations listed. Most major cities will have 3 or 4 or 5.
These people are there. If you have a credit problem, you're going to see some huckster on TV.
That's right.
Hey, call me and I'll sell your credit problem. You call those people, they're going to get money from you one way or another.
Yeah.
And see, what
How-
excites me is these people are here for free to do the same thing, probably better. I'm biased, but anyway. And they're not going to take your money, or they're not going to upsell you on anything, just to solve your problem. And so artists, I would think, are in that community, maybe even more
Yeah,
than
probably
the
more.
average citizen.
One of the things I'd like to drive people to our website,
Uh-huh.
dcarts.dc.gov, for more information about grant opportunities. We also provide workshops and one-on-one technical assistance. We have a whole staff of folks that
Wow.
are willing and ready to help folks.
Technical assistance like what?
They help them with grant writing, with their
I see.
applications.
So you don't have to hire a grant writer.
No, you don't
get
have
a
to.
grant.
No, you
See?
don't.
Say that again.
You don't have to hire a grant writer to get a grant. You can come in and you can get that kind of help from what we call our program staff, who provides that kind of technical assistance to help you get through that process.
See, so many people are out there. I mean,
It's
oh,
free.
I don't know how.
And it's
what?
free. And it's free.
It's what?
And it's free. Did I say that? It is free.
Yeah, I mean that's so exciting to me. You know, is that because people, I can't write a grant proposal. You'll talk to a professional grant writer, and they'll say, oh, it's impossible. You can't do it yourself. You know, and stuff like that.
Another organization is DC Economic Development.
Yes.
But they, I stumbled upon some of their materials when I was first starting out. They give their stuff out free at the libraries and stuff. But then I got kind of on their list for their business workshops that they have, you know, like once a month at 8 a.m. in the morning
Right.
about different topics.
The
And
Foundation Center.
yeah,
Right.
and the Foundation Center. Yeah, but there's lots of free programs
Right.
in DC for entrepreneurs. And artists need to think of
Right,
themselves
think
as
of that.
entrepreneurs.
And we encourage them to think outside the box.
Absolutely. All these other issues. Well, another issue I feel that artists have need help with is like healthcare. You know, it's such an issue nowadays. So here's a clip I want to show you. You know, the kind of healthcare probably a lot of artists really need too.
The key for
No,
everyone
that's
that's in a loan.
Things available. First thing, over here, anybody can walk in at any time.
Anybody?
Anyone.
Anyone?
And pick up a few condoms, take them with them wherever they want to go and whatever they want to do with it. No questions asked. We just ask that the bowl doesn't get emptied so that there's some there for somebody else. We also have a free sexually transmitted disease clinic. Again, that's for anybody, regardless of residence. You can just come in. If you're shy about being who you are at any time, you can be whoever you want to be. We don't even ask for identification. Wow. We've had Ronald Reagan come to this clinic. It's not really him. Mickey Mouse, other things. You can call yourself who you want.
That's great.
I mean, that's right. When we're involved in our life so hard in healthcare, we think of the traditional methods of, you know, I got to call a doctor and they're going to charge me on a covered, and man, even free condoms you could get from the government. People don't know about.
There are lots of clinics in DC, like Mary Center, and there's also the DC free healthcare for those who make under a certain amount.
Yeah. See?
But unfortunately, that bar is so low that even at my worst,
Right.
I don't think I.
But it's a
I can
huge
find it.
issue for individual artists, especially to get affordable health care. It's something that we used to do years ago until it got really too expensive and got really complicated.
Well, it now I feel a lot of it's income, but some of it isn't. Like this is not income determinant. You know, so for anything with sexually transmitted diseases, things like that is not income based. Other things are, you know, like women. You know, breast examiner, that income's like $45,000 or something like that to get whatever sliding scale. I mean, what I've helped people in the city too. You just beat on enough people, you know, and you can get health care. There's nice people out there if you beat hard enough. And so many people really go without. You know, and really people died.
And now
because
with
of that. It's
with
terrible.
healthcare reform, I think we're going to find more plans that are affordable,
Yes.
like in the $100 range.
Right.
I mean,
No,
and I
that'll be-
kind of found a low cost option that has a higher deductible, but it's more
Reasonable.
doable. Yeah.
No, you're right, because on a new plan, I think you could have income up to $90,000 and get subsidized, so that's going to be... Well, you guys are terrific. Hang in. What I like to do now is I do a section on like facts, you know, and what I want to do is we got that thing on the facts. Let's just... So I'm a data guy, you know, so besides my right brain, I like my left brain. And so I read a lot of stuff, and where are those facts? He's looking for them there. It was on that first list. You know, they're JPEG. Oh, there you are. Yeah, the first one, the money. No, that's not it. There it is. Right. Okay, there's the first one. So there are facts I found. You know, that, I mean, D.C. didn't have this issue, but the rest of the country now
how, I mean, that was astounding to me. Now we have babies last year, 2011, there was more minority babies than white babies. So, you know, us white folks, it's over. We're no more going to hold a power position, you know. But I also think that that's great for art in this country and everything. I mean, as we see, I mean, because, you know, in 20 years, that means half the population now is going to be, you know, non-white.
And the one thing that we talk about is diversity.
Yeah.
And how important that is to both what we do as a community and as the Arts Commission, that we fund a multicultural,
Right.
you know, diverse community. And this community is very diverse.
The arts community?
Yeah, arts community here is very
Well, it
diverse.
attracts diversity, I guess.
Right.
Where can I be weird? Yeah, well, I'll be an artist. Now, how do we get that in the normal community,
Right.
the rest of the world? And that's why I think through the arts, and I see data like this, then we have a better chance of solving a lot of other problems. Okay, give us the next one.
In USA, oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Now this is an interesting statistic. I'm reading a book recently called Makers, and it's about what's happening in manufacturing in this country. And it's the guy who did The Long Tail. I don't know if you know The Long Tail. The guy who did he's the editor for Wired magazine. But actually, this is, get the source down there. It's a big consulting group, Boston Consulting Group. Forecast by 2015, it'll be cheaper to manufacture in the USA than in China. And that's really because wages are going up in China. Yeah, they're getting closer. Ours are going down, so theirs are going up, and train's going to meet. The yen, you know, they've been sitting on the yen, you know, and that's going to be reevaluated. And automation in factory. This is for artists, I think, that is really going to be cool. Is that you ever see these 3D printers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As an
Amazing,
artist,
yeah.
so you must be going crazy. Yeah.
There's a place here called Fab Lab where you can actually
do
that through them and not have to purchase the equipment.
Right, and that is terrific. And then for people out there who don't know, this is where, I mean, you want to make a teacup, you just put in the software, and out comes a teacup from the printer.
That's
and that's
new
cool.
technology.
Yeah,
That's totally
and
new.
so you don't have to go to China to make 1,000 copies. So see, that's why I think artists can be more involved, because you could have shorter runs, you know, for things that could be designed specially for you to crank up a machine to have to print 20,000. Now printing 1, 2, 5, 10, well, all different shapes, everyone different, is going to be easy. So somebody has to design all that stuff. You know? That's you guys. What's the next one? The average government subsidy. Oh, this would tick me off the other day too. Okay, Obama's has a house in Chicago. He pays about $1.6 million. He gets a government subsidy, on his taxes. The government kicks in. He gets back $13,000 because of his mortgage. So here's a fat cat gets $13,000. Now the average food subsidy we have is $1,600. Now it really pisses me off. We're running around. We want to cut the food subsidy.
Right.
And for the fat cats, millionaires, I mean, it costs us more to support millionaires with houses than it does for poor folks who need food. But we don't talk about the millionaires. We're going to get those poor suckers first, aren't we? Take their food off the table. Yeah, and actually that subsidy for mortgage is twice what we spend in food. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Wow, that's a fun stat, that interesting, to me. Well, artists, see, they want to take it away from starving artists. Food. What's the next one here?
True.
Okay, I worry about what the rest of the world is doing. Because we have to fight against everybody else in the rest of the world. It's not only us. I mean, I grew up in the 50s, 60s. There was no other world. But here, look at, we rank 27th out of 34 of households with broadband. I mean, if you want to do anything, you need to be online, right? And you need broadband because that's how you're getting this show and everything. Well, we're ranked 27th in the number of households with broadband. How are we going to compete with Korea when they have 99% of the households have broadband?
That's an interesting fact. That's a very interesting
I mean,
fact.
I've heard of cities going
Exactly,
completely wireless and having it free. I just wonder when that's going to happen.
Yeah,
more.
well, it is in other countries. Yeah, we're behind it because somebody's making a buck out of it. So they.
Well, at the Arts Commission, we're encouraging folks to go online because all of our programs have now gone online.
That's true.
What does that
All
mean?
that-
Like to
That you
apply
have to
online?
apply
Oh,
online.
really? So you can
It's
apply
paperless.
online?
It's just paperless.
Oh, paper. What's your website? So we get that.
DCarts.dc.gov. That's arts, ARTS.
So DC Arts.
Arts.dc.gov.
Okay, .dc.
Yeah.
DCarts.dc.gov.
on
Great.
the DC Gov website.
Okay, so yeah, we only have 70% Korean, 90%, and there's 26 in the middle. Next one. Okay, we rank 9th in high school completion. So we used to be the smartest. You know, how many, percentage of population that completed high school? We're 9th in the developed world. 9th. I mean, what's going to be more important than educating folks? You know?
For the arts.
The arts.
Arts.
Yes. Well, we're taking that out of school too.
Yeah, when we start taking that out of school, that's when we start to drop.
Right. That is really.
And it's astounding that people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now people my age, well, actually, that's even younger than me. I'm over 64. But we rank 1. So workers in the population here are still smarter than the rest of the world. because the rest of the world really caught up in the last 20 or 30 years. So we were the smartest. But now, young folks, man, you guys are really competing with everybody else, and you're down on the ladder now to compete with other folks. Wow, how did this time go? Let's go another one. Oh, this is the most exciting one. Look at this. Look at this. 50% of Harvard school students caught cheating on the Intro to Government examination. And you wonder why we have a problem in Washington. If the most elite school in the country, the people there, half of them think it's okay to cheat, even in a government class. These are the people coming down here and run shit. Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of work to do out there, don't we?
Talk about creativity.
Right. Exactly. That's it. They teach themselves how to be that great. It's misfocused interest, or talent. Well, you guys have been great. And it's wonderful to have you.
Thank you
Keep
for having
being an
us.
artist.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thanks
keep
for
helping
having us.
folks out there.
I
That's
will.
really great.
Thank you.
Let's get a transition. I think we have something in here, right? Where are we? Thanks for tuning into Lesko Free Radio. I hope you enjoy this show because I enjoy doing it. And if you want to learn how to start using these programs, listen, I set up a free webpage called UncleLesko.com. You can go there right now and download the 5 best grants just for your state. So that's UncleLesko.com. Go there now, get the 5 best grants for your state, and start taking advantage of the stuff now. You know why? Because it's free.
The CDC says more than 1 million Americans are already infected. It's safe for children to get vaccinated. The swine flu's coming back like a viral attack. It's like 7 to 6. You gotta cover your back, but not with the vaccine. Don't give in to that because those medical quacks are making money off that.
They wanna inject you, infect you with the vaccine. They say they protect, but they reject your immunity. And if you protest, they arrest you and they lock you down.
Can't have people like that walking around contagious. The truth is outrageous. Don't you know the drug companies made this flu? And if you're thinking you wanna evade this, then you gotta say this. Don't inject me, don't infect me. Don't stick that needle in my arm and chemically wreck me. Don't inject me, don't infect me. Don't stick that needle in my veins and medically wreck me. Don't use me, don't abuse me. Don't push your medical lies and try to confuse me. Don't trick me, don't you dick me. With that needle in your hand, don't you dare try to prick me. Don't you know the swine flu is made by man? Pharmaceutical scam. It's all part of the big brother population plan. But the thing I don't understand is why they're in Mexico City in an unmarked military van. They don't want you to.
Hey, I like that rap about the flu. Well, it's flu season. Everything I've seen so much, everybody's worried about the flu and does it work, does it not work, or whatever. Well, here's how to get free flu shots. Remember, you can get them. I see everybody's giving them away. I mean, everyone's selling them. Like Walgreens and the drugstores. Everybody, is telling you how to pay for a flu shot, but you don't have to. Anywhere you live in the country, you could dial 211. We talked about 211 the last show. I mean, this is a local hotline. It's a number that it's available in every community that you could call, and they'll help you for stuff like that. So you could just call 211 wherever you are. I call it a few cities around the country, and it was great. Actually, I need to plug for this too. On this year. And I'm going to make a service myself soon. Try to call somebody else soon, but just call them up for free flu. Also, here to get the facts. See, the data I've been seeing recently, only about the flu shot only works 60% of the time. So you got to make a decision, really want this sucker or not. And the way to do it, the government has a website. It's probably biased. We're all biased at something. But it's flu.gov. Flu.gov. But what I like better from the government is the CDC, Center for Disease Control. And if you go to CDC, Charlie David Charlie, .gov, and then /flu, and you get great information to help you make a decision about that. Now, I want to call another 800 number here for people who are still smoking out there. There's a government program that will pay for you to quit. Get you the patch for free, counseling, all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to call the 800 number. Oh, I got to get the phone on first. God, it's amazing how the time goes on this bloody thing so fast. Okay, I'm going to call. It's 1-800. So you could call this anywhere you are. We're going to see how this works. 784-8669. So 1-800-784-8669. Okay, now I'm going to say I live in Maryland or have a friend or something like that and see what kind of help they give for, airplane mode. Oh, want to turn it off? Yes, I want to turn airplane mode off. See, I mean, you can get so much stuff over the phone. Everybody's online and things like that. But sometimes you have to use the phone. You get better. I mean, online you get too much information, and it won't really work sometimes. There we go. We're starting to work.
On the Maryland Tobacco Quit Line. Congratulations on taking the first step towards quitting tobacco.
Oh, what
Gracias
happened?
por llamar al programa para dejar el tabaco de Maryland. Lo felicitamos por haber tomado el primer paso para dejar el tabaco.
I don't know what that is, but I guess it's
In
Spanish.
English, please press 1.
Para hablar con nosotros en español,
See, English. So it's bilingual here.
This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
You've heard
Please
that before.
hold while we connect your call.
Let's see what they got.
Maryland Tobacco Quit Line. This is Fran. How may I help you today?
Hi, Fran. I'm not calling for myself. I got a close friend who's trying to quit smoking, and I just want to see what's available from the line for her if she calls up to try to quit. She thinks if she needs the patch, and she's worried about paying for that and stuff like that. So what kind of help is available?
Okay, so basically how our program works is we provide free coaching over the phone to help people quit tobacco products. So especially we get a lot of smokers. And basically, like I said, we provide free coaching over the phone, so we help you through your quit process in order to, stay successfully quit and get quit. We also see if you're eligible for any nicotine medication. We can't guarantee that we send you something. It really depends on the state and a whole bunch of different variables.
But for Maryland, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll also send out some written materials and resources to help her out through her quit process. So her first phone call would basically be like we'd collect information from her, get her registered. It takes about 10 minutes. And then we'd have her speaking with a quit coach, and that's the person who develops a successful quit plan with her, see if she's eligible for nicotine medication, and get those resources sent out to her. And that takes an additional 10 minutes, so probably about a 20-minute phone call for that.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and it's all completely free. So
it's all free.
All free.
I love the word. Well, it's so nice to you. So are you supported by whom? Who gives
I'm
you
sorry,
money?
what was that?
The government? Is this government money?
Yeah, we make contracts with the states, and
I
they
see.
do all the funding.
Wow. Well, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to pass the number along. Okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, thanks for calling in. Bye.
Oh, see, I mean, there's a lot of help out there for any kind of problem you got. So today we covered a lot of stuff for artists. And it went fast. I got another 30, 40 minutes left here to do that I can't get it. But I hope you like the guests. I thought they were terrific people. Remember to go to Uncle Lesko. I'll send you a free report on the best 5 grants for your state. You just download that right then at the website. So make sure you take advantage of that. We're going to be here next Sunday again with mystery guests and real guests and not so real guests. And and I appreciate you coming down and staying in tune with us. And let's just do that end tag thing. Not that one. Remember the one up, third one up, number 14. See it? There it is. There's
Soldier Boy, tell me.
Soldier Boy!
Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy.
Crank that!
Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy.
I'm Matthew Lesko, and I'll show you how to get free dance lessons! Free!
You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right.
Ooh, yeah. Super it! Yeah. Soldier Boy, yeah.
Soldier Boy, I'm in there, ho. Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that?
Why me crank that?
Superman that.
Superman!
Oh, now why me you? Crank that soul out. Why me you? Crank that soul out.
Why me you?
Crank that soul out.
Why me you?
Crank that soul out. Why me? Soldier Boy, I'm in there, ho. Why me crank it?
Why me crank that?
Why me crank that Soldier Boy? That Superman that. Hold on.
Why me you? Soldier Boy, Superman! Woo! Crank it, Soldier Boy, Superman! Yeah.
Soldier Boy, tell me.
Soldier Boy!
Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy.
Crank that!
Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy.
I'm Matthew Lesko, and I'll show you how to get free dance lessons! Free!
You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right.
Ooh, yeah. Super it! Yeah.